Take a moment to really settle and feel yourself on the ground. Start to feel the parts of your body that are touching support so you can start to really surrender into those parts of the body. Take a moment to really focus in your surroundings, take in the sounds. And take a little moment to focus in on your breath. And then let your breath go. Loosening and softening control, even if your breath, just seeing if you can watch it begin to flow in its own natural pattern. And perhaps even taking a moment to say to yourself right here in this moment, all of my needs are met. I can rest. I can let go. And then we'll move into our rotation of consciousness. So just trying to place your awareness in certain parts of your body without moving it, just placing your awareness there, as if becoming aware of each and every cell in that part of the body, and moving on and following the pattern. Give yourself permission to get lost and caught away with the thoughts, and just gently remind yourself to return to my voice, to my guidance. Getting lost is natural. It's just the practice of coming back to single point focus, trying not to be frustrated. So begin with the right hand. Become aware of the right hand thumb. First finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit. Travel down the rib cage a rib at a time. Find the space between the rib cage and the hip. Right hip, thigh, kneecap, lower leg, ankle, heel, arch of the right foot, ball of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Become entirely aware of the right side of the body, as if turning on your awareness to each and every cell on the right side of the body. gently draw your awareness over to the left side. Place your awareness in your left hand thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit. Travel down the rib cage, a rib at a time. Find the space between the rib cage and the hip. Left hip, thigh, kneecap, lower leg, ankle, heel, arch of the left foot, ball of the left foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. And then become entirely aware of the left side of the body. As if arriving home on the left side of the body. And we'll move left to right sides. Right big toe, left big toe. All of the toes on both feet. Right heel, left heel, both heels. Right ankle, left ankle, both ankles. Back of the right knee, back of the left knee, back of both knees. Back of the right hip, back of the left hip. Across the lower back, across the hips. Back of the right mid-back, back of the left mid-back, across the back. Back of the right rib cage, back of the left rib cage, across the rib cage. Back of the right shoulder, back of the left shoulder, across the shoulders. Right wrist, left wrist. Both arms from the fingertips to the shoulders. Right ear, left ear. In between the ears. Right eye, left eye, both eyes. Right cheek, left cheek, across the face. And then see if you can gently bring your awareness to the back of your eyelids. Soften to the outside edges of your vision. And then gently fall backwards and land right in the center space of your mind. as if landing right above the spinal cord, right in the center of the brain. And placing your awareness here to allow your awareness to be here. Noticing what is present, landing and witnessing without judgment. Allowing space for whatever is present here to be present here. Greeting yourself as if greeting an old friend. Notice that you can notice your thoughts, and then perhaps notice a little space in between the thoughts. We have the opportunity to work with an intention here. Intention is often called a truth vow, a little vow that you make to your highest truth. It's a little intention that we believe already true. We allow it to come from our innermost self. And as if making a vow, repeating this vow to our innermost self, we make it become true through all of our layers of being. So allow your innermost self to maybe give you something you'd like to work with. And form it into a very short and precise and positive sentence as if it were already true. For example, if I wish to work with self-worth, I would say to myself, I am worthy. When you have your sentence, take your time to say it to yourself with conviction. Say it as you would to a dear friend. Say it with kindness and compassion, as if you already believe it true. And then we'll move on to the energetic layer of the body. So we're going to move energy throughout the body, connecting with the energetic layer of the body, and whatever visuals you can use to help connect you with the kind of energetic paths moving throughout the body. We're going to begin by bringing awareness to our left hand and imagining drawing energy in through our left hand, up the left arm, across the chest, down the right arm, and out the palm of the right hand. Imagine you can draw this channel of energy, fresh, refreshing energy, in all the way through, up the arm, across the chest, down the other arm. Imagine that it's free of holding patterns and tension and misaligned bones. Just this freely moving channel of energy. You can give it a color or a texture or a temperature, but imagine it is drawing in fresh and sweeping away things no longer needed. In through the left hand, up the left arm, across the chest, and out, down the right arm and out through the right hand. And gently see if you can switch the direction of your energy channel. This time drawing energy in through the right hand, up the right arm, across the chest, and down through the left hand. Let that go and bring awareness to the sole of the left foot. And this time we're going to imagine drawing in fresh energy through the sole of the left foot, up the left leg, across the hips, and down the right leg and out the sole of the right foot. Drawing in fresh and sweeping away things no longer needed. Gently, softly, refreshing energy in through the sole of the left foot, up the left leg, across the hip, down the right leg and out the sole of the right foot. And gently see if you can switch the direction of your channel of energy. This time drawing energy in through the sole of the right foot, up the right leg, across the hips, down the left leg, and out the sole of the left foot. Again, drawing in fresh, sweeping away things no longer needed with the movement of this energy. And then let that go. We're going to invite in the sensation of opposites. So bringing awareness to your physical body, begin to imagine that it is filled with lead. Allowing your toes to become heavy, your feet to become heavy, your legs, your torso, your arms, and even your fingertips feeling heavier and heavier. Begin to feel heavier, deeply grounded and weighted. Maybe even connecting with the sense of gravity pulling you down onto the ground. Maybe even the hair on your head begins to feel heavy. Feeling so heavy and so deeply grounded that if a storm were to blow in, couldn't budge an inch. You're so weighted and grounded. And soften that away and allow the sensation of lightness to come in, the opposite sensation. Beginning to feel and lighter. Beginning to feel as if you're filling with air. Fingertips feel soft and light and floaty. Your arms feel soft and light. Perhaps even beginning to feel sensation floating away. Your legs are light and soft. Your toes are light and soft. Your face feels light and soft. Feeling so soft you could drift away on the softest breeze. And invite in the possibility of experiencing both of these sensations at the same time. The sensation of lightness and the sensation of heaviness at the same time. Softly let that drift away and return to that center point of your mind. As if you could rest at the top of your tailbone and kind of look back up at the rest of your brain, watching it fire, as if dropping below the waves of the mind, of the thoughts, and just watching them. Noticing the thoughts and what is present here. And allowing space for what is present here without judgment. And the mind fires constantly. The brain is a constantly firing network of neurons. And that is what the mind does. And the practice is not to stop the mind from firing, but to become less affected by this constantly moving waves. Imagine dropping below the layers of the thoughts and just peeking back up and seeing them fire. Becoming aware that you are something more than just the thoughts. You are the one that's able to witness the thoughts. And then we'll begin a journey with our imagination. Try to paint in as many details as possible, making the scene as vivid as you can. In some of these imaginary journeys we take, we repeat so that we can make them a little more vivid each time, painting in a little more of the details, these familiar paths. We're going to take a walk in the forest. Ahead of us we see a well-worn path. Start to paint in the details of the forest. See the leaves on the trees, perhaps birds and insects flying around. Maybe you can begin to connect with the sunlight trickling through the leaves. Perhaps there's a soft breeze tickling your skin. The farther you walk along this path, the more and more connected to nature you begin to feel. Perhaps you can begin to smell the smells of the forest floor as you're walking along. Up ahead in the forest, you see a clearing, a beautiful meadow filled with wildflowers, and a path leading you through the meadow, through to the center of the meadow. And in the center of the meadow, you see a beautiful temple. Paint in the details of this temple. See the walls, the roof. See beautiful warm golden light spilling from the windows as if beckoning you in. See yourself walking towards the door. And the closer you get, the more a sense of welcoming begins to fill you. So you walk up to your temple and open the door. And you're immediately flooded with a sense of being at home. This is your sacred temple. This is your home. And close the door to the outside world. And take a seat in the center of your temple. Paint in the details of your temple. See the walls. Perhaps there are paintings and pictures of people that have lived this life before us and had wise messages to share. Paint in the details as much as you can. And as you sit here, more and more become connected to a sense of warmth and welcoming and being at peace. Being home in this place, your sacred temple. Perhaps your temple is filled with the sound of ancient prayers or songs or hymns. Maybe you feel the need to curl up in a little ball on the floor of your sacred temple. You've taken the time to feel at home, to feel at peace. And before we leave our temple, take the time to imagine writing yourself a note here. Note that stays your little intention from the start of practice, your truth vow, as if planting this here in this sacred place, knowing that this message will become more powerful. And then we'll take a journey of rapid visualization. And as I label a thing, try to allow an image to come to mind, see it, observe it, and then let it soften away. The practice is to begin to allow things to come to mind, see them without judgment, without right or wrong fears, and then allow them to soften away. We'll begin with a tiny ant, a far distant planet, being stuck in traffic. Leaves floating on the wind, birds migrating, the face of a mentor, a herd of elephants, a single candle in a very dark room. Children playing in a playground. Pegasus rising from the flames. Voices joined in prayer in a church. Prayer beads. Diving into the deep blue ocean. Sand drifting through your fingers. Standing on top of a vast mountain. A sacred temple. Sitting in meditation. See yourself sitting in meditation. Observe yourself sitting in meditation. Before coming back entirely from this rested state, this deeply rested state, take a moment to again whisper your truth out as if your whole self is listening. Say it with kindness and compassion. And say it as if you already believe it true. And then bring very gentle movements to the fingertips and the toes, little wiggles of the fingers and the feet. And very, very slowly waking up the body. Perhaps blinking open the eyes very softly, allowing the light to come back in slowly. Softening your sense of sound back in to take in the whole space. And taking your time to roll up in a little ball in a fetal position on your side, really curling up. Taking the time to ground down and connect to your heart center. Connecting to this position, the fetal position, reminding us of the time in the womb when all of our needs were met. We had not judged ourselves as negative or positive, but we were simply this little spark of life. Remind yourself that that spark of life exists within, unchanged by your experiences and the stories that you tell yourself. And perhaps imagining one of these stories, one of the layers that perhaps we would like to soften and leave on the mat today. Not that we let go of our past experiences and try to pretend they never happened, but we let go of the emotion and the attachment to that experience and allow it to be just part of our story, without judgment, without label, just part of what makes us who we are right now in this moment. Putting down the weight of the emotion, the turmoil attached to memories or stories. And it is right on 1 o'clock, so feel free to take any further time that you need in this position. Do try to finish this with your hands at prayer at heart space, finishing with ritual, finishing with familiar patterns whenever we come to these practices. Bring our left and right sides to meet in front of our hearts, this gesture of accepting ourselves as whole and complete exactly as we are. Thank you so much for joining us today and your patience with the craziness. So we had some crazy technical difficulties today. It's a wonder we could pull off anything at all. So I thank you for your patience with my son. I don't know how much you could hear, but my son ran up and down the stairs like an elephant at least 100 times. I'm pretty sure there was some door slamming. Our mailman has shown up with the music blaring, so I don't know how much you picked up. I apologize for any of it. And I will try to locate the key and be in the studio again tomorrow, where it's nice and quiet.
I think the word you were looking for was Phoenix.
Yeah. Oh, and I was so distracted, I said Phoenix, but Pegasus rising from the flames. But again, you were just supposed to get a visual, so maybe you could do that without judgment. Don't judge the yoga teacher for her mistake.
I was picturing your poor Pegasus burning to death, man, and rising up.
Well, how can he fly if he gets burnt?
It's okay. I fell asleep as usual, and then I woke up.
I'll see you soon, guys. Thank you.
Hopefully we'll be back in the nice, quiet studio.
Oh, who knows?
Or maybe we'll just make this our new setup.
No.